Welcome to the Alchemist Nation podcast. We are a community of business and real estate professionals who are on a shared mission to help every individual achieve financial freedom through right action, the right knowledge, and the right accountability. Join me, Andrew McMurray, and my co-host, Mitch Jaworski, as we find and interview those who have mastered wealth and who have a desire to share their wisdom with you. Enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of the Alchemist Nation podcast. My name is Mitch Jaworski. I am one of your hosts. I'm here with my co-host, Andrew McMurray. We have a fun episode for you this time, and we're keeping it in-house with Alchemist Nation, and we're going to talk about Alchemist Connect, amongst other things. But Andrew will tell you more about our guest. Andrew, what's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up, Mitch? I am absolutely outstanding. It's great to be back recording with you since the summit. It's been at least a few. And so today we actually have Marc Dozois. So Marc is a very key figure here at Alchemist Nation in the inner team. He is the owner and manager and pretty much the engine behind Alchemist Connect, which runs everything we're able to do here at Alchemist Nation, all of our marketing, like all the events we're able to run. It all is founded in Alchemist Connect. So Marc is a very important character here at Alchemist Nation. And he also spoke at the summit. He laid on us an AI chat bot that we're working on that I'm always blown away by. It's such an exciting thing for me. I love where we're going with the future, with the technologies we're playing with. But Marc, anyway. Oh, you know what? One more thing on a personal level, he wins the award for me for the best dressed VIP on VIP day. So Marc, I don't have a physical award Alchemist Nation style for you, but you win my heart.
I appreciate you. A little bit on that. Last year I showed up and people had these little fancy jackets, and I showed up in my little black blazer, and I was like, you know what? Next year I'm just gonna up the ante and got me a couple of cool blazers, and definitely brought the game in.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Inspired me. Next year I gotta go harder.
That's what everybody's saying. Everybody is definitely gonna challenge me next year, but I got some tricks up my sleeve.
See, and that's why we got to be a part of Alchemist Nation, guys. Iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Start hanging around killers. You got to become a killer yourself. But Marc, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here, man. How are you doing today?
Doing amazing.
So this is the first time we've had you on the podcast. So for those who don't know you, you are such an important member of Alchemist Nation within the community. Would you mind telling us like a little bit about yourself, just sharing like kind of your story and like what got you here today? Just briefly.
So what got me actually into Alchemist Nation, I was an affiliate marketer a couple of years ago, doing marketing on the internet for a while, and ran across Walter. He's from my city. Saw his mentorship program, reached out to him, asked him if he had an affiliate program. He had me signed up and chatted with him a little bit. And he invited me to join the mentorship, which I knew nothing about real estate. Told him that, and he's like, jump in, we'll teach you. Signed up for that on I think 2 years ago, the Black Friday special. I was like, you know what? $800, can't beat it. Let's jump in. And jumped in, did the mentorship, got out of the mentorship, and then we started having some further talks about a CRM. And he said, we just don't have anybody to build it. So I raised my hand and offered to build it for him. So he had me look around, see what kind of software is out there. And, we found the best in the business and partnered with them. And here we are with Alchemist Connect.
It's awesome. It's awesome. When I think about Alchemist Connect, obviously I think of it as, a badass CRM, but I feel like there's so much more to it and what you can do with it. And I think on this episode, I'd love if you can kind of dig into those things and really get across the power of what using this software is if, you have any kind of business, really, especially any kind of business where you have to communicate with end users and be able to keep not only keep the flow of communication good, but just the power to automate and the power of basically having all that information just in a space where it's accessible and I don't know if shareable is the right word, but just like, how it is in terms of like how the whole team works with it and all the things that can be done in terms of communication and then some. So outside of just talking about Alchemist Connect, I'd actually like you to explain some favorite features too, and really like the best ways you leverage it, for Alchemist Nation, because I think people could take away something from that on how to use it for their business.
I think there's a lot of great features besides the CRM that we have inside there. So the
Mm.
CRM allows you to upload all your contacts, set messages to send out at certain times. So you could send messages out during the week without even having to go back in to set those up. You can set them up on a Sunday, Monday, whatever your days to set them up, and just have those go out automatically. But some other great features are the social media planner. So you can go in and upload a CSV file with your content for the month, for 6 months, for a year, images, videos. We have integrations through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So you can actually post your reels. You could go in there, schedule them on a Sunday for the month, and at certain times, they'll shoot out to your social media. Another great feature that we have is requesting reviews from your clients on Google My Business. So if you have a database of your past clients, you can upload them, and with the simple push of a button, you can send out a request for them to leave you a review right on your Google My Business, which Google My Business is great for SEO. And, when you're on the top with the most reviews, that's what people look for these days. They search Google, and they look for the best plumber, the best realtor, the best agent in the city. And you have the most, you have top reviews, and you're going to be seen the most. Those are a couple great features besides the CRM that we like to use.
Nice. I wasn't even aware of the social media aspect, which now I'm like, you're killing me. I wish I didn't know, because now I'm like, oh crap. I can schedule everything just on one day, and then as opposed to having to like every day be on social media.
Absolutely. And on top of that, we have an image editor in there, so you can upload your images and you can edit them right in there, just almost similar to Canva. So you can upload them. We just, got a great new editor, and you can put some cool stuff on there and schedule all your social media posts out for the week, the month, whatever you want to do. You can do it
That's
for a year.
awesome.
Yes.
So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's more than a CRM. I mean, it's also essentially a marketing tool.
Yes.
So you can do you can do your CRM, you can do your essentially your communications, and you can do your marketing all in one hub.
Absolutely.
And the automation, I think, is the real cool part about it. And obviously, with the communication, email, text message, all that stuff. And then like, you just mentioned the social media aspect. That's pretty cool.
And another great thing is when you connect your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, when people send you messages on those platforms, you get it right inside the CRM. So if you're inside Alchemist Connect, you can communicate through your social media right there in the spot. You don't have to actually go into your Facebook, your Instagram. All communication comes right through two-way.
That's awesome. Especially, I mean, mainly just, in my opinion, it's awesome because it's in one place. I don't have to go to all, 3 or 4 different apps.
We replace about 13, 14 apps. So email marketing, text marketing, social media planning, funnel builders, workflows, automations. And we have so much in there. Calendar. So we replace your calendar. If you have Calendly, you can use Alchemist Connect and do the same thing. You can make as many calendars as you want. Connect it right to your Google or your I believe it's called iMac, right? I'm not familiar with the Mac stuff, but it's Google Calendar and the Mac Calendar.
Yeah, or iCloud maybe, who knows?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it connects right to your phone. So any appointment you book through Alchemist Connect, you get notifications and updates right to your phone.
I did not realize that half of these features existed. Like
we can take a walk through it. We can take a walk through. We can jump on another call and walk you through and show you exactly what it does so that you understand the power of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've just used it, essentially for lead capture and email. Obviously, I have a form on a landing page for the property calculator, and then that collects obviously emails, and I can communicate. Obviously, like it's automated where people get an email with a password to the calculator. But yeah, outside of like just that basic CRM piece, I haven't really delved into Connect. And wow, yeah, it's a lot of powerful stuff.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're coming in, they're just seeing a little bit of the components they can use, and they're just using that, and they're not really exploring the rest of it. But because there's so much, and when you get into it, it's a lot. But if you take it piece by piece on what you need, then it's a little more digestible than just jumping in and seeing all the 30 different features and getting a little confused. But there is so many powerful features inside Alchemist Connect.
One-stop shopping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like it's almost because it's interesting because I kind of use it for I've had to recently now use it more for workflows and like actually managing communications with like clients and leads. But I've always used it on the back end for like the web developer for making funnels and kind of doing the more creative back end stuff. But yeah, it's almost like ideally like a full spectrum replacement for like all like your whole business, right? Like,
Yes.
I mean, ideally you won't need anything other than Connect. And which leads me to I'm curious about, I know that they're coming out with or already have come out with like even an internal community feature. Like, how does that look? Because so I was talking to a client the other day that uses Connect. And in their mind, they'd like it to be almost a directory where anybody within like the ecosystem can go in and tap in and either find directly or talk to like an AI chat bot and always be connected with. Like that's where you go to connect with whoever it is you need to connect with. So I was curious to know like if that's a feasible thing, like if that like an open community sort of within Connect. Is that
Yeah.
coming?
So it's actually already released in beta. So we have communities similar to something like Mighty Networks. So basically, you can charge a fee for people to come into the community, or you can do it for free, and then you can have courses in there. So they can come in. There's chats in there, and you can upload courses and charge for courses. You can give courses for free, or but yeah, it's all just released in beta, and we're pretty excited to send it out to the community.
That's crazy. That's insane. And you only started all of this like 2 years ago, you said?
About a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. That's incredible. And so how many users do we have now?
We have over 200 users now.
That's incredible. That is awesome. What's I'm curious to know like what your like based on what you can see in your mind, because you're paying attention probably more than anybody else to like what's coming, what's on the horizon, like what like the CRMs, like our ultimate goals are with it. I'm curious to know like can you paint a picture of like the ultimate vision you can see for like what Connect could become or what it
Yeah,
will
so what I
become?
so what I see it coming to is AI is huge now. So obviously we know AI is taking over. When I say taking over, I mean it's just taking over people's jobs, but it's taken over as a tool. So we envision a closing bot to where we can reach out to property owners, or we can reach out to people that are in distressed properties and actually use the AI to chat with them about their problems. And the AI will talk to them and see what their problem is, and then hand that over to the salesperson or the closer, right? So now the people don't have to reach out on their own and talk to the homeowners, but we're going to have the AI do it for them, right up until the time they want to jump on a call. So basically, the AI talks to them, builds rapport with them, and then just hands them over right at the right point to the salesperson, and hopefully they dive right in and close the sale.
That's cool. So basically, using AI to create warm leads.
Yes.
Because as opposed to, obviously cold calling or whatever it is, I mean, you're getting qualified leads because the AI bot is qualifying it. It's kind of like, Drew Martin, with his, he does, TV ads for his, essentially for his wholesaling and flipping or whatever. So he gets inbound calls. So they're basically warm leads because people aren't calling him unless they basically see the commercial and they're like, oh, I have that problem. I need to get rid of my house. So this is essentially, it's doing the same thing for end result, but using an AI chatbot. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, and this goes beyond real estate. This goes on to any business. So anybody can come in, an agency can come in, and they can reach out to restaurants, plumbers, electricians, and have the AI talk to them to see, if they need other options for their business, other advertising. But it's funny that you mentioned that about phone calls and stuff, because we actually have the missed call text back. So what happens is if you connect it with, if you have an Alchemist Connect account and a phone number, when somebody calls in, if you're not able to answer that phone, the chatbot will actually reach out to the customer and say, hey, sorry, we missed your call. How can we help you? So business can utilize this. So let's say a restaurant is busy and they have Alchemist Connect. Somebody calls in to maybe order something. They're calling usually from a cell phone. And when the missed call comes in, they can set up the text bot that says, hey, we missed your call. If you want to check out our menu, here's a link. Or if it's, like a plumber, hey, sorry, we missed your call. How can we help you? What's your problem? and then the person will explain their problem, and then the AI will pick up on it. And then when the owner gets a chance, they call back and they already have their warm lead and they can just set up their appointment.
I mean, heck, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm sure there's business owners that would set that up as a default, so they literally never have to answer the phone,
Yes.
and they essentially get the answer, to what they need, and then they can call back or text back with, yes, we can solve that, or, yes, let's jump on a call to schedule or whatever it is. So that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, like you said, that's good for any business.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially like if you have, like, for an example, like a busy plumbing company or whatever, where it's like time is money and it's like you're on jobs and stuff. So, answering the phone in the middle of a job is just, a pain in the butt. So if you have that, it automates that. And then, you can essentially cut out one phone call at least,
yes,
in that process. And, and the time that phone call takes up.
Yeah. Another great feature that we have. So many great features that, we're putting out there, and that's another great one.
I'm curious as to what that does for human connection. Like, I'm interested to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Well, because human connection becomes more valuable. Because like on phone calls, like you're already calling. Like sometimes I get an automated, it's an automated line that runs you through the options and stuff. But it's annoying. I'll hit 0 a million times because I'd rather just talk to a person. But I can see how like an AI is going to be able to talk to me human-like. So at least I can have a real conversation with it and tell it what I want. But it's just such an effective and efficient thing. I feel like no matter what, we're all going to switch to it.
How many times have you needed like a plumber or roofer or painter or whatever, and you call 3-4 people, nobody answers. So you're dialing numbers, but after one call to somebody, you get a text back, hey, sorry, this is, ABC Plumbing. How can we help you? And you're like, you're not even realizing that it's an AI at first. Let them know your problem, and then they say, all right, we'll have a technician give you a call. So at least you have that rapport to where you reach somebody basically.
Obviously that text message is, no different really than almost like just an answering service in terms of that instance.
Absolutely.
And you're right, because especially when, when you're trying to find service providers, maybe you're getting started as a real estate investor, let's just say in a new market, and you're asking for references from people and you're calling, and it's like, that's what happens. Yeah. You'll call 3 plumbers or 3 carpenters or whatever it is, and no one answers the phone, and then you're waiting to see if they'll give you a call back, and then the day later no one's called you back, and then you're like, all right, I guess I got to find more people to call, as opposed to you get that response. It's like, all right, sweet, at least I've been acknowledged. And then you say whatever your problem is, and then at that point it's just like you wait to get feedback, but at least they've gotten the information. So when you hear back, you're going to get essentially an answer to your issue, as opposed to just getting a hold of somebody, which,
absolutely
is, so it eliminates one of the steps. So I think it's obviously a value add.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. It is equally as beneficial for like the consumer as it is for the business to have it. And if it really is an AI bot, like for each business, like it can be trained like on all the information like within their business, right? So like there doesn't even need to be the call like initially, like, right? It's like I can almost know it's going to be the AI, but it knows everything that the person would be able to tell me.
So basically we have a training center inside the back end of anybody who has an account. We have a training center. So if you have a website, you can actually input the URL. Our AI goes and crawls that website and learns all about you. So basically for our company, we have Alchemist Nation trained in there. So if somebody reaches out to us and says, I'd like to know a little bit about Walter, it'll give that person some information about Walter, Ron, Doug McGurk, Mitch. At some point, Andrew, I'm not sure if we trained it on you, but when people conversate with our AI, it knows our community, it knows our leaders, it knows our events. So if you say, when is there going to be an Alchemist Nation event somewhere? Once we release this, people can just ask whatever questions and learn whatever they want about Alchemist Nation, and any other business can do that too. If let's say a plumbing service uses our service, you can train it on the website, and then it'll say, what are your hours? The AI knows these are our hours. You can call us at this number 24 hours a day for a 24-hour service, or whatever you want it to put out. So it does have a training center.
I think just basically, using AI to communicate basic information is a huge value add. I mean, when you start getting past that point, I guess that's when Andrew kind of gets into like, oh, what does this do for human interaction and all that stuff. But I think that first, step, so to speak, or two, where it's just information gathering on both sides, that can totally be automated. And I don't think that takes away from the experience at all. So pretty cool tool. Yeah, for those people that are using Alchemist Connect already, it's just a CRM. Well, you got a lot of bells and whistles that you can leverage to get even more value out of your membership, which
yeah. And if anybody wants to jump on a call to talk more about them, they can book a call with me, because we have so many new features within the last just 6 months alone that some people may not even know about. So they can book a call on the website. And
that's alchemistconnect.com, right?
Yeah.
Alchemistconnect.com.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, makes sense, because you can really help people understand how to get the most value out of it. And it's a pretty good value too. It's like, I know it's a monthly subscription, and I've used other CRMs for my Scaredy Cat stuff in prior years before Connect was around. And the price points are all over the place, but they were just mainly CRMs. I mean, this is a CRM plus all this other stuff, really for the price of a CRM, and actually even less expensive than a lot of CRMs. So yeah, I'm a big fan of good value propositions, and this is definitely in that boat. So just per Alchemist Nation, add a ton of value and keep growing. So speaking of adding value and growing, I think we all did that about a week ago at the 100 Millionaires Summit 2023 version. And Mark got the pleasure of getting on stage for the first time and speaking to the audience with Walter. So not only do we want to hear about that, but just just share that experience for you. I know obviously it's always excited. It's the first time you can get up on stage and speak in front of people. It's been a while since my first time, but definitely a little butterflies the very first time I got up there. So tell us about that experience, what it was like for you, and then also just a little bit about what you spoke about.
Yeah, so let me tell you how that all came about. Last year, going to the summit as an attendee, just seeing how amazing it was. I came out of that and I got on a call with Ron and Gwalt, and I said, listen, I want to be on that stage next year. Me and Ron kept talking about it. Walter kind of forgot about it. And as we got closer to the summit, I said, hey, Walter, what are we doing on stage? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I manifested the whole year that I'm getting on the stage. So he's like, damn, I forgot. So he squeezed me in, and we made it happen. I just needed to be on that stage because I know there's so many places that I want to go and take this project. And it's going to take me to other people's stages talking about our systems and how we're going to be changing the real estate game with Alchemist Connect. But getting on that stage was surreal, right? So just walking up, just knowing that people are watching you and looking at you, it was hot. It was hot. All the lights, and you can't really see anybody, but just knowing that there were people out there and watching. And the AI didn't kick off as smoothly as we wanted to, but we got it to do what we wanted to do. And anybody who was there can still communicate with that AI now. Just text that number that we had up on the screen and just keep communicating with it.
That's cool. Yeah, the live demo is always cool. I think that really engages people and is a nice value add, and especially kind of just shows people what a service or product can do. And yeah, and like I was kind of smirking when you were talking about being on stage and it being hot and not be able to see anyone. It's like, yep, welcome to the other point of view. It's outside of maybe the first couple rows because of the lights, you really can't see anybody. And yeah, those bright lights can get a little warm. But outside of that, it's always fun being up there. And sounds like you had a good time. And, you guys did a good job up there. And I'm sure, I assume that you're going to be doing it again next year because there's going to be new faces and, more people to share Alchemist Connect with. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting onto other people's stages and taking our product elsewhere, to showcase what we have. So
You know, it's funny you mention that because you're right. Like, obviously speaking at the summit was a good launch pad, so to speak, because getting in front of audiences at other events to speak about Alchemist Connect is so what I'm looking for. It's basically something that's going to become standard. Like it's something you should be doing, as a part of building the business. Especially because it's a tool that, these audiences can leverage, especially if you're speaking, at real estate events, because it's such a great tool for real estate investors and especially wholesalers. And like you said, service providers, which come to real estate events. I mean, handyman, plumbers, like they go to real estate events because a lot of times they're interested in investing in real estate, and picking up business. Because obviously, if anytime like my local events, anytime like a handyman or someone shows up, it's just like, oh, you got a card, you got a card, you got a card, because everyone's always looking for another service provider. You never really can have enough. So it's cool. It's cool you kind of got your first crack at it, and now you're in the game.
Yes, sir.
Ready to speak.
Yes.
So, which I mean, you know what? That makes a good point. So, obviously, you mentioned people can get on Alchemist Connect to book a call with you to learn about the software, but also anyone that wants to have Mark come speak to a group of people about Alchemist Connect and the power of it, book a call with him, and you can schedule that up, and he'll definitely drop knowledge on the power of Alchemist Connect and everything it can do, and how it works.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I gotta say, Mark, I appreciate the way you take action. It's a bunch of different things, right, that we've been talking about during this call, even like with last year coming and seeing the opportunity for, okay, we need a CRM, we need some sort of like glue and power to keep the community growing and together. And in a year and a half, you've built it to what it is. I for some reason, I don't know, timelines in my head, thought we've been doing it for a lot longer than that. But in a year and a half, we've built it to what it is. On maybe a lesser level, you show up at the event last year and you see the standard that people set for how they dress, and you're like, all right, boom, I'm gonna be the best dressed next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on the stage. And then, you said manifesting, but like manifesting is not just thinking you're gonna do it. Like you made sure you follow up, took the action. How am I gonna do it? Made it happen. And then even now, right before the call, you're talking about how you're already doing speaker training. You're already going to the next event next month to go do speaker training. Cause I got on stage once. Now this is going to be a regular thing. Like, it's just cool, man. I appreciate it. I guess that's not really a question, but I like it.
Well, and that goes back to, the what is that? The love-hate relationship. And I say that ever since kind of Bill Allen talked about it, but like, take action, take action. So, Mark's clearly doing that. And as much as, Bill talked about, oh, I hate when people just say take action. It's like, well, let's create a framework for taking action, right? Like that's the more important part. But if you can just take action, clearly you're gonna get results, right? Like, and some people will just take action, like they don't need that extra framework or whatever it is. It's just like, all right, this is what I'm thinking, and this is what I need to do, and I'm gonna go do it, right? So Mark's been doing that for the last, year and a half, 2 years, and you're already seeing the results. And Alchemist Connect continues to grow, and I'm looking forward to seeing how big it'll be, even a year from now when we're at the 2024 summit, and so on and so forth. Because when you have a good product and a powerful software, and you're looking to help people improve and expand their business, it's just a winning combination. So just keep doing what you're doing, and keep taking action. And for those that are struggling to take action, you got to use the I forgot, what was it, the OODA loop, or whatever it was, the that Bill gave us, the observe, orient, decide, act, or whatever it was. I think that's what it was. I'll be amazed if I actually remembered it correctly. What it was. Yeah, this is why I write things down. Like I was on my phone like this, like in my notes on my phone, like many times during the summit, because I wasn't walking around with like a pad or anything like to write things down. And I was just like, same thing when like Doug did the Dickens process. I was like putting stuff in there or whatever, like to reference. And
such an amazing thing, the Dickens, right? So first year I was kind of hesitant, but such an amazing process for people to go through to break through.
It's funny you mention that, because that's actually the third go around I've experienced with Doug doing that. And the first year I tried and I couldn't engage. Like I'm so, and especially because I'm just like so like ADHD neurotic, like my brain's just like, yeah, it's not happening. And then the second year I didn't like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, nope, I didn't even bother. Like I was 5 minutes in, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna go get other things done. And then this year I was like, I got to make this happen. Right. And it's like, it's all about finding how something works for you. And I'll apologize in advance because I'm about to go on a tangent, but I figured out what I needed to do to be able to engage. Right. And for me, it's like, the way I function, I need kind of like this methodical something. Like when I'm working, for instance, like if I'm in Alchemist Connect or whatever, let's say building something out, I'll have like um low key EDM music playing in the background because that like same methodical beat, it gets me into a zone. It gets my brain to like actually chill out. So when we were doing Dickens process, I actually started like just rocking back and forth in like this rhythm. And I literally rocked back and forth for like an hour straight. Like, well, because he, had us standing or whatever. And that helped like just get me to like focus and kind of like, sync up to everything that was going on. And I'm not going to say like I had some super profound, experience where I was like in tears and stuff, but I actually, did have an experience and did, I think connect with some stuff. So I was happy that, I could get that improvement and actually, engage and, get at least some growth from the experience. And to all those people that were like, having those next level growth, so to speak, and were literally in tears or screaming or whatever it was, like so happy for them, because that's the whole point of it.
And it's funny you say that about getting yourself into a zone. I used to do construction and I used to lay a lot of tile. So when I used to lay tile, I used to play Mozart.
Oh
And
wow.
yes, and when I would play Mozart, you just get into the groove, you know what I mean? Because tile is such good work, right? So we used to play rock and stuff, and I wasn't really feeling. I'm like, oh man, I just want to be, smash stuff, right? But then I got into the groove of playing a more, like you mentioned EDM. But yeah, I used to play Mozart and put showers up and do floors and just so much more in the zone when you can bring your mind to a certain place.
Wow, that's super interesting. I would actually, well, my business partner, I mean, was doing tile up until basically we just retired him out, which I talked about at the summit. But yeah, he was the typical listening to the classic rock station all day long. But that's interesting. Yeah, you got to find at the end of the day, the takeaway from this conversation we just had is that you got to find what works for you. Like everyone's built different, right? And this is why, I think teaching and education and learning is important, but at the same time, like not everything you're going to get taught is going to work for you because, we're built differently and we have different styles. So it's just like, my style of real estate investing, I can teach someone and that might not be the perfect fit for them, as opposed to maybe if Walter taught them, that's a better fit because him and I have different styles, right? And you got to find what suits your personality. And that's something that I always preach. And when you do that, I think you have more efficient progress. If that makes any sense. And in order to level up that progress even more, you use Alchemist Connect.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Even more efficient. I got to really leverage the tool more. Like I'm ashamed to admit it on air that I just use it for like the basic CRM and that's it.
That's what a lot of people do until they get to see the new tools that are coming out. And we're going to be doing better by releasing a blog now, so that when we do updates, we're going to put it on our blog and we'll put it out to the community so people can actually read about it and then see what the update is and jump in and actually look at it and feel for themselves.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, I mean, this has been awesome. I'm so glad we were able to have you on. Congrats again on getting up on stage at the summit. Looking forward to hearing all the new features next year because I know there'll be more. Once again, tell everyone how they can get in contact with you and how they can kind of get going on Alchemist Connect if they want to start leveling up their business.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to connect, they can go to alchemistconnect.com. There is a book a call link right on the top and grab a spot, get on the schedule, and let's talk about it.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you jumping on with us and sharing the powers of Alchemist Connect. And yeah, until the next one.
Thank you very much.